Welcome to downtown McBain. We're set here for a JV basketball matchup. It's going to be the McBain Ramblers versus the Beal City Aggies.
It's going to be a good one.
Joined here by Landon Isinga. I am Grant Tripp. So we will set to tip off. It's going to be Max Ealing, and he's going to be matched up against Eric Elias. And we are underway for the tip-off. It's going to go to the Aggies, picked up by Locke. Locke going to give it back to Small. Small going to cross half court, hand it over to his teammate. That is player's number I don't have. Passes it out, shoots up, no good. Rebounded by Max Ealing. Shot was done by, I don't know. Picked up by Winkle. Winkle gets it out to Skierback. Skierback now over to Ealing. Ealing over to Coochie. Coochie tries to get it to Thomas. He will. Thomas over to Ealing. Now Brody Skierback loses the ball, falls over. It's going to be Guttrell with it coming down the court. Ball is knocked out, picked up by Smith, and Smith knocks it through and puts up the first points tonight.
Great job on Beal City on being able to capitalize on that missed pass there and just making an easy drive to get 2 points on the board.
It'll be Thomas with it now. Thomas in some trouble. Can't pass it before he falls into the travel. Beal City back with the ball, 7 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Small gonna come across half court with it, hand it over to Guttrell. Guttrell finds the lane, drives in, Guttrell passes it out, shot up and good. And there will be one. Just a great read there by the sophomore Drake Guttrell, getting it over to Elias, and Elias now coming to the line for one. Free throw from Elias is no good. It's going to be rebounded by Thomas. Thomas going to get it back to Winkle. Winkle over to Ealing. Ealing back to Winkle. Winkle going to call his play. Gets it over to Ealing. Ealing gets to Coochie. Coochie over to Skierback. Skierback looking for a lane, not finding much. Passes it over to Coochie. Coochie driving. Coochie steps back. Passes it over to Thomas. Over to Winkle. This Aggie defense is holding strong as Max Ealing's going to drive. Ealing going to stop, take up the shot, and knock it through.
Great patience by Max Ealing there. I mean, waiting for his defender to give up there, or let up, I should say, a little bit more so he can take that shot.
Ball's going to go to Guttrell. He keeps that one in and passes it over to Smith. Smith over to Elias. Elias drives in, takes up the shot, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Elias, and that second shot goes on through.
And that just shows rebounds matter there. I mean,
Coochie tries to get it to Winkle, and it's going to roll out of bounds. So this JV team for McBain struggling already, trailing 6-2. Ball's going to go to Small. Small finding a lane, passes it out to Guttrell. Guttrell now gives it to the outside. That is Elias. Elias finds his teammate Small open, but Small gets called for the travel. So Winkle with it now. Ramblers trying to get across half court with 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And they will not get it out in time.
The Beal City full court press, proving worth it there.
So Aggies with the ball now. It'll be Small to pass it out. Small launches it up to Smith. Smith gives it back to Small. Small flings it out to Elias. Elias takes up the shot, no good. That will be a foul in the air, so Eric Elias coming to the line for two.
And before he takes this next shot here, let me remind you all that today's sponsor is L&J's Meat Market. It fuels the Rambler Review crew.
Second free throw, no good. It's going to be rebounded by Winkle. Winkle gets it out to Engelwright. Engelwright with his first minutes in the game gives it to Thomas. Thomas back to Engelwright. Engelwright gets it to Ealing. Ealing in the paint. He's going to pass it out to Cucci. Cucci slings out the three and knocks it through.
Cucci starting it early tonight.
So it'll be Small with it now. Small hands it off to Gatrell. Gatrell driving in, takes up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Winkle. Winkle flings it over to Thomas. Thomas now going to drive, pass it out to Ealing. Ealing fakes the shot, drives in, tries to get it to Winkle, then takes the shot and knocks it down.
Sometimes you got to take those shots. What might I say? It's a pretty good spin move to take that shot as well.
It's now Ramblers leading by 1 after trailing by 4. It's going to be Small driving in, passes it out to Gatrell. Gatrell passes it over into the inside, over to Walcott. Excuse me, that is Locke. Locke over to Elias. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Winkle. Winkle gets it over to Engelwright. Engelwright with some open space. Slings out the three, no good. Rebounded by Elias. Elias gets it over to Walcott, but that's going to be a foul as Brendan Cucci plants his feet and gets a round of applause.
Yeah, the crowd really liked that one.
So Winkle with it now. Winkle gives it to Cucci. Cucci over to Engelwright. Engelwright, easy pass to Thomas. Thomas lays it up, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing looking to save it, and he will, and one. Good save by Max Ealing, and now an opportunity to make it 3 points. Free throw up, no good. Rebounded by Locke. Small tries to get it to Gatrell. He will. Gatrell now against Winkle. Passes it over to Elias. Elias gets it over to Locke. And that ball will go out of bounds. And to McBain leading by 3 with 3 minutes to go. That'll be a timeout for Beal City. So we will see you after this break. Back to it in the first quarter, 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go. It's McBain leading by 3. It'll be Engelwright to pass it out. Engelwright just going to hand it over to Winkle. Winkle going to give it to Cucci. Cucci finding the press. Gets it over to Winkle. Winkle now, 2 defenders. Gives it back to Cucci. Cucci got to get it out. Gives it to Engelwright. Engelwright now, Thomas open. Thomas gives it to Cucci. Cucci over to Winkle. Winkle backs it off. He's going to call his play. Now Engelwright with it, gets it to Thomas. Thomas gives it back to Cucci. Cucci over to Engelwright. Engelwright in the corner. Engelwright going to drive, pass it over to Thomas. Thomas over to Winkle. McBain looking for that opening, maintaining possession. Winkle going to hand it off to Cucci. Cucci over to Engelwright. Engelwright gives it to Winkle. Now Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci gives to Engelwright. Engelwright takes the three and knocks it down. Oh my goodness.
Following the footsteps of his older brother from last year's team.
That's one way to stop a slow-moving game, or to speed up. Ball's gonna go over to Elias. Elias gets it over to Gatrell. Gatrell gives it back over to Locke. Locke's shot no good, rebounded by Engelwright. Now it'll be Ealing. Ealing knocks over a man, gives it to Cucci. Cucci over to Winkle. Winkle gets to Engelwright. Engelwright. Now Winkle, step back three. Good.
Everybody's shooting threes tonight.
And these aren't easy threes either, and they're still going through as it is 15-6. Small gets it over to Elias, and Elias gonna get called for the foul. Now Engelwright gonna pass it out. His team leading by 9. Cucci gets to Winkle. Winkle stops, finds 2 defenders, tries to get it to Engelwright. He will on the dribbler. Now it'll be Cucci. Cucci passes it over to Thomas. Thomas back to Cucci. Cucci with space, takes the three, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing in the paint, takes up the shot, no good. It's gonna draw a foul and 2 free throws at the line for Max Ealing. We're gonna see a replay on the 3. 3 from Raiden Winkle. We see the step back crosser, and he knocks it down, no problem.
It's cold.
What a shot. As first free throw from Ealing is no good. Second try now for Ealing. This one, no good. Rebounded by the Aggies. Passed back to Small. Small gonna drive, finds Thomas, airs one out over to Locke, and Locke's shot is no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing gets it over to Winkle. Winkle running down the court, slows things down, gonna call a play. Gonna pass it over to Cucci. Cucci gets it over to Thomas. Now Winkle with it. He's gonna give it to Engelwright. Engelwright over to Cucci. Cucci gonna come in. Cucci in the paint. Pass it over to Thomas. Thomas finding a lane, then passes it out to Ealing. Ealing running, taking the shot, no good. Rebounded by Elias. Now it'll be Small. Small tries to get it over to, and Braden Winkle throws it off the man and keeps that ball in his team's possession, and that's going to do it for our first quarter. Your score, 15-6. These names are so confusing because they're all freshmen and sophomores, and they all wear the same numbers. Look at, there's 2 freshmen number 32s.
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
to it now, set for the second quarter. McBain Ramblers leading 15-6. It'll be Brennan Cucci to pass it. He's going to send it back to Winkle. Winkle gets to Engelwright. Engelwright to Thomas. Thomas going to drive in, spin, take the shot. Float it up, no good. Rebounded by Elias. Now it'll be Small. Small flings it over to Guttrell. Guttrell going to drive in, loses the ball, picked up by Winkle. Winkle coming down the court, airs it out to Thomas. Thomas barely hangs on. Thomas going to drive in. Thomas going to take the shot and knock it down.
How about Thomas looking like Odell Beckham, catching that ball one-handed? Able to capitalize with 2 points to end that.
Or like Tom Kennedy.
You're right.
It'll be Small with it. Small loses the ball. It's going to go out of bounds. Brennan Cucci showing that grit. So ball's going to go over to Small. Small drives in, takes a shot, no good. Rebounded by Engelwright. Engelwright over to Winkle. Winkle way over to Skierback. Skierback passes back to Winkle. Winkle long three, no good. Rebounded by Skierback. Skierback in the paint with the recovery, no good. Going to be rebounded by Elias. It's going to be a foul against Ealing. Trying a little too hard to get that ball. It'll be Small. Small hands it over to Guttrell. Guttrell backs up, pass it over to Small. Small drives in from the outside, tries to pass it. It's going to go out of bounds. And it will go to McBain. Engelwright gets it over to Winkle. Now Cucci against that full court press. He's going to run. He's going to lose the ball, and it's going to go out of bounds. Small with it. Small finds a block and some space. Fakes the three. Passes it over to Elias, and Elias' shot no good. So he'll say it was in the air, so Eric Elias going to come to the line for two. Looking for his 5th and 6th points of the night. First free throw, no good. Second try now from Elias. That one goes on through, so he cuts the lead to 10. As Winkle tries to get it to Cucci, and Cucci wasn't there.
A little miscommunication by teammates.
Now Aggies with the ball. It'll be Small to pass it out. Small gets it over to Elias. Elias against Ealing, drives in. Elias takes up the shot contested and puts it through.
Great job by Elias. I mean, he found an opening and he took it.
Now Winkle with it. Winkle driving in. Spins around, takes a shot, no good. Rebounded by, that is Guttrell. Guttrell coming down the court. He's going to take up the shot, no good. There will be a foul. He knocks it down. And the foul is going to be against McBain. So Drake Guttrell looking for that free throw. Free throw is good. So your score 17-12. It'll be Winkle with it. Winkle over to Engelwright. Engelwright gets it over to Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci gives it back to Winkle. Winkle going to call the play. Winkle gives it to Coochie. Coochie gets it to Skierback. Skierback now. Skierback gets it to Winkle. Over to Engelwright. Engelwright, long three. And it is good. Kamlar Engelwright from way downtown. His second three of the night. Ball's going to go to Gatrell. Gatrell going to drive in, pass it out, gets it to Small. Small gives it over to Elias. Elias three, floats it up and knocks it through. So a response to Engelwright's three. A little less impressive, but it's going to go to Coochie now. Coochie gives it over to Winkle. Winkle once again calls the play, gives it to Coochie. Coochie over to Skierback. Skierback going to give it to Winkle. Winkle gives it to Engelwright. Now Winkle. Skierback. Engelwright with it now. Hands it off to Winkle. Slow going now for McBain. Out that time, they take a long three. It's going to go to Coochie, but it's going to roll out of bounds and go to the Aggies. Small with it now against Thomas. Small tries to get it over to Gatrell, but it's going to go out of bounds. And McBain going to get that ball. Engelwright with it now. Hands it over to Winkle. Winkle over to Ealing. Ealing over to Thomas. Thomas over to Skierback. Skierback corner three. Knocks it down.
Everybody on either team are just shooting threes now.
It is working. 23-15. Small hands it off to Love. Love gives it to Locke. Locke over to Small. Small against Thomas once again. Finds a lane, drives in, flings it way over to Love. Love tries to keep it in, and he will fall out of bounds. Can't keep those feet in. Thomas gets it over to Engelwright. Now Winkle tries to get it to Engelwright. It's going to fall on the court. Engelwright picks it up, running down the court, hands it over to Winkle. Winkle over to Ealing. Ealing tries to get it to Thomas. It'll go out of bounds, but it'll be out on the Aggies, so McBain going to keep that ball. Winkle to pass it. Gets it over to Skierback. Skierback back to Winkle. Winkle three, no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Thomas in the paint for the recovery, and he knocks it on through.
There's another case of rebounds matter, especially in a game like this.
That'll be Gatrell. Gatrell driving in, shoots it up and knocks it through and gets that foul. Now the one free throw from Gatrell is good. 25-18, McBain leading by 7, 2 minutes, 49 seconds left to go in the half. It's gonna go to Engelwright. Engelwright over to Winkle. Winkle way over to Ealing. Ealing on the outside. Trying to get it back to Winkle, he will. Winkle over to Engelwright. Engelwright on the outside, passes it over to Ealing. Ealing over to Winkle. As the ball is knocked out, picked up by Winkle. Winkle, once again in the corner. He's going to get it over to Thomas. Thomas tries to get it to Engelwright. It's going to be popped up out of bounds. As Brennan Coochie comes in for Braden Winkle.
Tough defense by the Beal City Aggies so far tonight.
Engelwright gets it over to Coochie. Coochie gives it to Engelwright. Engelwright over to Thomas. Beal City defense holding strong, and there will be a foul. Coochie gets to Engelwright. Engelwright gets called for the back court. Elias to pass it out. Gets it over to Small. Small gives it to Locke. Locke back to Small. Small way over to Gross. Gross shot no good. Rebounded by an Aggie. Shot up no good. And on the ground. Whistle gets called. It's going to go to the Aggies. Small now. Passes it over to Gatrell. Gatrell stops, fakes the three, passes it over to Gross. Gross gets it over to Locke. Locke back to Small. Small against Engelwright. Minute 29 to go. Gets it over to Elias, and Elias going to get called for the travel. Thomas over to Engelwright. Coochie with it now, gives it back to Engelwright. Engelwright going to come down. Pass it up to Coochie. Engelwright gets it over to Ealing. Ealing over to Thomas. This Beal City defense just not letting anything in the middle. So McBain just forced to shoot those threes.
I mean, it's working sometimes, but you need to drive in there into the paint and go for a 2-point every once in a while.
Ealing tries to drive. There will be a foul.
And back to that Aggies defense. I mean, they're playing really aggressive tonight. Full court press. They're setting traps. I mean, it's tough to beat a defense that's playing like this tonight.
Coochie to pass it out. Gets over to Engelwright. Engelwright, corner three, no good. Gonna have to stick for 2 for 3. It'll get rebounded by Coochie, now stolen by Small. Never mind, that is Gatrell. Gatrell's shot no good, rebounded by Skierbeck. Skierbeck gets it over to Coochie. Coochie with 30 seconds to go, gives it over to Engelwright. Engelwright tries to get it to Coochie. Coochie loses it, picked up by Small. Small passing it way over to Gatrell. Gatrell steps up and makes it through. Now Coochie, 12 seconds to go in the first half. Gets it over to Ealing. Ealing, 6 seconds to go, drives in, takes up the shot, and knocks it down.
There you go. That's what this McBain offense needs.
Now the half-court shot, no good. So that'll do it for the first half. It'll be McBain 27, Beal City Aggies 20.
And this first half was brought to you by L&J's Meat Market. It fuels the Rambler View crew.
McLain Transmission and Auto Sales. Transmission repair and vehicle sales in Northern Michigan. Locally owned and operated. Being a member of the community means that we take pride in the work that we do for our neighbors. You can expect honest and expert service from us. Every repair, every sale, every time. Servicing Cadillac, Lake City, Manton, Mesick, Big Rapids, Traverse City, and surrounding areas. Located on 2730 South LaChance Road, Lake City, Michigan. Call us at 231-779-1394 or check out our website at McLaintransmission.com.
Take it, David, take it!
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
Reedy's is a family restaurant on Main Street in McBain. Their menu has something for everyone from kids' meals and pizza or burgers to their entrees such as grilled salmon, grilled tilapia, pasta dishes, and the best barbecue ribs or chicken around. Tuesday through Thursdays, Reedy's is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, they close at 9 p.m. And Sundays, they are not open at all. Food for your mood.
McBain Hardware has been serving the McBain community for over 60 years. They have an expansive collection of Milwaukee tools and products. As my brother likes to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. Come down to see Tyler, Ron, or Trevor at McBain Hardware on 118th North Roland Street, McBain, Michigan, for all your everyday hardware needs.
For people who desire a custom-built home in northern Michigan, Arrow Homes is the premier builder that specializes in creating stunning, high-quality custom homes that reflect each homeowner's unique style and needs. Unlike other home builders that rely on cookie-cutter designs, Arrow Homes partners closely with clients through every step of the process, from initial design concept to final walkthrough, creating a truly customized living space. With over 50 years of home building expertise using only the finest materials and the most skilled craftsmen, Arrow Homes constructs exceptional custom houses that owners are proud to call home.
Evil's whole hog sale is happening now.
Only $1.89 a pound hanging weight. You can fill your freezer for less.
Enjoy delicious pork chops, ribs, and roasts, packaged just how you like it.
Make meal planning a breeze when you head to your freezer for smoked pork chops, pork sausage, or pork roast for the crock pot.
Enjoy Michigan-raised pork and go hog wild over our bacon.
From Evil's General Store in Falmouth, Reed City, and Everett.
The The Foundation Scholarship helped me achieve my educational dream by allowing me to attend a private college that I really didn't think that I could afford.
By allowing me to focus more on my academics and less about worrying constantly about the financial stressors, it allowed me to form relationships on my community campus, which helped me strive to be a better person, a better student, and a better future teacher.
So I remember taking a picture back in my first semester of college, and it was over $400 for 2 textbooks. And so every bit of money helps, and these scholarships helped me achieve my educational dream by coming back to McBain and helping our next generation of students succeed.
I could go and pursue the majors in education that I wanted to.
L&J Meat Market. Our meat speaks for itself.
Welcome back. Set to start the second half of this JV matchup. It's going to be McBain leading by 7. Beal City Aggies trailing behind, trying to get back in this one. 2 quarters of play left to go, obviously the half. It'll be Thomas with the ball on the outside. Thomas gets it over to Ealing. Ealing over to Winkle. This Beal City defense hasn't let up many holes. It'll be Cucci over to Winkle. Winkle calling the play. Winkle gets it over to Skierbeck. Skierbeck on the outside. Still nothing to do on the inside. Winkle now. Gets it over to Cucci. It's going to stay. Never mind. It's going to be called out of bounds. So, Aggie's going to get that ball. Ball's going to go over to Elias. Elias gives it over to Love, and Love shoots it up and knocks it down.
Go Love.
Now Winkle. Winkle gets it over to Thomas. Thomas over to Ealing. Ealing back to Cucci. Cucci back to Thomas. Thomas gives it over to Winkle. Winkle once again calling the play, trying to get something going for his offense in the first half. It'll be Thomas with it.
Second half.
Second half, you're right.
You're welcome. I love you.
Thomas gets it to Ealing. Now Cucci with it.
Thank you, Cole.
Back to Winkle. Cucci finding something, gives it back to Thomas. Still nothing going for this McBain offense as that pass will be barely kept in bounds by Winkle. Winkle, tough pass, gets it over to Ealing. Ealing back to Winkle. Back to where we began. Now it's going to go over to Cucci. Cucci gets to Ealing. Now Ealing with a lane and lays it up and knocks it through. Patience paid off there for the McBain offense as they finally get that score through. It'll be Locke with it. Never mind, that is Small. Small gets it over to Elias. Elias over to Gross. Gross gets it over to Small. Small passes it over to Locke, and Locke's shot goes on through, keeping this deficit at 5. Winkle falls to the ground. That will be a travel. We have, oh.
What?
Substitution now for the Aggies. It will be Colin Gross coming in for Colton Love. It'll be Small with it. Small gets it over to Gross. Gross over to Locke. Locke over to, that is Drew Gross, and 1.
What a way to draw the foul there. Great job.
Yeah, Drew Gross, son of the football coach for the Aggies, of course, showing that strong physicality, getting that foul in the paint, and the shot up on through. Now ball's going to go to Cucci. Cucci, fast break, and knocks it down.
What a precision pass there, too. I mean, right between 2 defenders to find an open man for an easy 2.
Small loses it, gets it back. Gets a block from his man on the outside. Doesn't find that lane he wants. Gives it over to Gross. Gross over to, that is Elias. Elias shot no good. There will be a foul. Ball's going to go to McBain.
More full court press by the Aggies.
Winkle, trouble with it. Gets it over to Cucci. Cucci got to move. Gets it over to Winkle. Winkle, too much time. As I said, you got to move. They didn't get it past that full court press for the Aggies working tonight. Here and there. Of course, they are losing by 5. Small gets it over to Gross. Gross gets it over to Locke. Locke shoots it up, no good. There will be a foul. Foul's going to be against McBain. So it will be Aaron Locke at the line for 2. First free throw is good. It'll be Cam Engelwright coming in for Thomas. Engelwright with 6 points tonight. Coming off 2 impressive threes, both contested. One was a long one. Second free throw from Locke is good. Now Engelwright running down the court. Gives it to Cucci. Cucci with a lot of open space. Gives it to Ealing. Ealing shot no good, but that will be a foul as Ealing's got his wrist hit.
He was definitely looking for an easy layup there. Instead, found himself at the line.
First free throw from Ealing, no good. Second try for Ealing. This one goes on through. Small with it now. Hands it over to Gross. Gross gives it over to Elias. Elias over to Gross. Gross shot no good. That'll be a foul. Now Engelwright tries to get it to Skierbeck, ball rolling. It's going to get called out of bounds. Winkle with it. Winkle over to Engelwright. Engelwright tries to get it to Cucci. It's going to be stolen by Small. Small with a lot of open court, lays it up and knocks it down. Ramblers moving fast. Cucci loses the ball, stolen by Gross. And Gross' shot goes on through. It'll be a timeout by McBain, struggling all of a sudden as we are tied. We'll see you after this break. Back to this third quarter action on Rambler Review. Game is all tied now after the Aggies went on a run to start the second half. It'll be Engelwright over to Winkle. Winkle back to Engelwright. Engelwright tries to pass. Ball is on the ground. Given to Cucci. Back to Winkle. Winkle going to give it to Cucci. Cucci on the outside. This Aggie defense, tough to find anything. Over to Skierbeck. Skierbeck tries to find something. There will be a foul So Brody Skierbeck going to come to the line for 2. First free throw, no good. Second try from Skierbeck, that one goes on through. So it'll be Small with it. Small against Cucci, passes it over to Gross. Gross gonna get called for the travel. McBain leading by 1, gonna get that ball back. Ball's gonna go over to Engelwright. Engelwright over to Winkle. Winkle to Skierbeck. Skierbeck floats one out to Ealing. Ealing picks it up, passes it over to Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci fakes it. Brutal fake. 3. Splash. Ooh. I think we might need to see a replay on that one. I'll let Cole know. Oh my goodness. Brendan Cucci with no regard.
Ruthless.
It'll be Gross. Gross passes it over to Locke, and Locke shoots that one through.
Now bring it back down to a 2-point game.
Skierbeck loses the ball, picked up by Locke. Locke gives it to Small. Small shoots it up, no good. Rebounded by Cucci. Now Winkle with it. Winkle against Small, gives it to Engelwright. Engelwright over to Skierbeck, back to Engelwright. Engelwright 3, looking for 3, and he will. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Cam Engelwright shooting 3s almost every night. Small passes it over to Gross. Gross over to Elias. Elias tries to shoot the 3, blocked by Skierbeck. Picked up by Gross. Gross loses it, picked up by Ealing. Winkle with it. Winkle, his team leading by 5. It'll go to Cucci. Cucci, another fake on the outside. Cucci gets it over to Skierbeck. Skierbeck now to Winkle. Winkle over to Ealing. Ealing passes it out to Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci with some space. Shot is blocked and kept in bounds. Oh my goodness. Eric Elias with the block and then keeping that one in bounds.
We got a replay.
We're going to see a replay. I think this one might be Brendan Cucci shooting that 3 as we see the fake. Never mind, hold on.
Gotta set it up.
It will be. So Cucci with the fake and then just the execution to finish that one through.
You better call a snow day because that was just cold.
Cucci gets it over to Ealing. Ealing over to Winkle. Now Cucci with it. Cucci, 30 seconds to go. Looks at the clock himself. Gives it over to Skierbeck. Skierbeck over to Winkle. Winkle driving in with the lane, stops. Pass it out to Engelwright. Engelwright has to chase it. It's going to be way in the backcourt, and obviously that'll be the violation. So with 13 seconds left to go, Beal City with the ball, trailing by 5. Looking to cut that down and then head into the 4th quarter. It's going to go over to Elias. Elias guns it out. Now Gross going to drive, take up the shot and knock it down. 8 seconds to go. McBain going to move quick. It'll be Engelwright. Now Winkle. Winkle gives it to Engelwright. Engelwright going to hurl the half court. No good. It's going to be a travel on Engelwright, so Beal City going to get the ball with 0.7 seconds left to go.
They make a 3 here. I mean, that's tied game right there.
For sure, but they have to get it off quick. It's going to be a miracle, or need a miracle. Ball's going to go to Small. Small shoots it up. No good. Very close, but that's going to do it for our 3rd quarter. So we'll see you after the break.
And And this last third quarter was brought to you by L&J's Meat Market. It fuels the Rambler Review crew.
Back to it, set for an exciting fourth quarter. Beal City only trailing by 3, but McBain just shooting threes left and right, looking to seal this one away. It'll be, I believe, Beal City's ball.
I think so, yeah.
Because, wait, hold on. It will be Beal City's ball. I'm overthinking. Small to pass it out. His team down by 3. Passes it over to Elias. Elias against Steerbeck, driving in, takes up the shot, knocks it down. Making it a 1-point game. Now Engelwright over to Winkle. Winkle gives it to Engelwright. Engelwright finds Cucci. Cucci passes it over to Winkle. Cucci on the outside, gets it to Ealing. Ealing, pass it out to Cucci. Cucci open for 3, no good. Rebounded by Engelwright. Engelwright under the net, gets the rebound. Now Winkle. Winkle gonna give it to Cucci. Cucci over to Ealing. Ealing gives it to Cucci. Cucci in the corner. Passes it off to Winkle. Winkle gonna call the play. Winkle gets it to Engelwright. Engelwright tries to get it to Steerbeck off his hands. So now it will be Small to pass it out. Small with it, hands it off to Elias. Elias over to Small. Small driving in, hands it off to Gross, and Gross shoots it down. And Beal City with the lead. Been a while since they had that. It'll be Ealing with it. Ealing gives it over to Winkle. Winkle tries to get it to Cucci. Stolen by Small. Small with an open court. Just going to take the layup and put it through. That's going to be a timeout. All of a sudden, Beal City with the lead. 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the fourth. We'll see you after the break. Back to it now. McBain with the ball, trailing by 3. Funny thing is, starting the fourth quarter, it was Beal City trailing by 3. All of a sudden, a 6-point run. It'll be Engelwright. Engelwright gets it over to Thomas. Thomas tries to get it, stolen by Love. Love passes it over, shot up, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing gets it to Winkle. Winkle coming across half court. Winkle, trouble with the ball. Winkle still with it. Winkle gets it over to Engelwright. Engelwright open, 3, no good. Ball kept in bounds by Thomas. It'll go out of bounds, and McBain going to keep that ball.
Great hustle by Al Thomas. I mean,
the third.
You're right. I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, get around that defender and still get the ball before it hits the ground.
Now Thomas with it. He's going to drive. He's going to try to pass it out, loses it. Picked up by Small. Small, fast break, coming in. Finds Winkle. Winkle stops. Shot up and good. It's going to go to Inglereich, trailing by 5. Now Winkle. Over to Ealing. Over to Winkle. Winkle going to give it to Cucci. Cucci hands it over to Thomas. Thomas over to Winkle. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the fourth. Now Inglereich with it. Tries to pass it over to Winkle. It's going to go out of bounds. Knocked out by an Aggie. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. McBain trailing by 5. Cucci gets it over to Thomas. Thomas over to Cucci. Cucci with the lane. Behind his back. Shot no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ball is blocked. No foul. Picked up by Gross. Small with it. Hands it off to Locke. Locke back to Small. Small flings it out over to Elias. Elias gives it to Small. Small three. No good. Rebounded by Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci back to Winkle. Winkle way over to Thomas. Thomas wide open, takes up the shot and knocks it through.
McBain find a way to score again.
Still trailing by 3. Small across the half court. It'll be a timeout by Beal City. They're still leading by 3 with 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to go. So, of course, we will see you after the break. We welcome you back to this fourth quarter. 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to go. It's McBain down by 3. 41-44. It's going to be Beal City with the ball. Avery Small to pass it out. Small gets it over to Gross. Gross passes it back to Small. Small against Cucci. Going to drive, back it up, pass it over to Elias. Elias finding a lane, drives in. Blocked by Winkle. Rebounded by Cucci. Pass back to Winkle. Winkle now. Passes it over to Inglereich. Inglereich tries to get it to Ealing. Stolen by Gross. Small gonna cross half court. Pass it over to Love. Love hands it over to Locke. Locke gonna drive. Locke shoots it up, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing gets it to Cucci. Cucci coming down the court. Cucci gonna hand it over to Winkle. Winkle now loses the ball. Stolen by Locke. Locke coming down, takes the shot and puts it on through. 41-46, McBain trailing. Inglereich with a long pass, stolen by Small. Many struggles apparent for McBain. Small passes it over to Gross. Gross kicks it out to Love. Love, three, no good. Rebounded by Locke, and Locke puts that one through. It'll be a timeout for McBain trying to regroup as Beal City is on a run. Back to the fourth quarter action. 3 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Thomas gives it over to Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci back to Winkle. Winkle over to Cucci. Cucci over to Thomas. McBain with some struggles here in this fourth quarter. It'll be Winkle with it. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. He's trailing by 7. Winkle switches with Cucci. Cucci switches with Thomas. Thomas over to Winkle. Winkle in the corner. Takes a 3 and knocks it down. Good handles by Winkle, confusing the defenders and shooting the 3.
They'll drop this lead down to 4 points.
It'll be Gross. Gross gets it over to Locke. Locke takes up the shot. No good. There will be a foul. Foul's going to be in favor of the Aggies. So here's a replay on that 3 from Braden Winkle. As it will be Aaron Locke at the free throw line for 2.
My, what a shot.
First free throw, or second free throw from Locke is no good. Rebounded by Winkle, trailing by 6 now. Winkle hands it over to Cucci. Cucci on the outside. Gets it over to Thomas. Thomas finding some space, stops, takes the shot, knocks it down, and 1. I believe. Yeah. So, Alan Thomas III looking to cut down the lead to 3.
Before he takes this shot, let me remind you that this game is sponsored by L&J's Meat Market. It fuels the Rambler Review crew.
Free throw is good, so he will cut that lead down to 1 score. Small with it. 2 minutes to go, leading by 3. It's against Cucci, trouble with it. Finding some space, driving in. Kicks it out to Elias. Elias kicks it out. Giving to Gross. Gross over to Small. Small finding some space. Tries to pass it out. Stolen by Winkle. Oh my goodness. Cucci with it now. Cucci back to Winkle. Winkle gives it to Cucci. Cucci over to Thomas. Thomas over to Winkle. Winkle tries to get it to Skierback, and that's going to be a foul. There's a little too much physicality there from Drew Gross. Winkle to pass it out now. Gets it over to Ealing. Ealing back to Winkle. Winkle 3. No good. Rebounded by Thomas. Thomas going to pass it to Cucci. Cucci over to Skierback. Skierback back to Cucci. Cucci gives it back to Winkle. Winkle. Thomas. Cucci. Minute, 7 seconds to go. It'll be Ealing. Ealing back to Cucci. Cucci on the outside. Now Winkle in some trouble. Gets it over to Ealing. Ealing switches with Cucci, or excuse me, Winkle. Winkle kicks it out to Cucci. Cucci looking to tie. He will not. Rebounded by Skierback. Skierback's shot no good, but there will be a foul. So 42 seconds left to go. McBain trailing by 2. It'll be Brody Skierback with 2 free throws at the line. It's going to be a timeout. So exciting ending coming for this ball game. We will see you after the break. Back to it now. Brody Skierbeck at the line with some important free throws here. Looking to at least get one to cut that lead down to 2, so they don't need that 3 to tie. So, never mind, it's going to be McBain taking it out. And is it a timeout? It's going to be a warning on a Beal City player.
Might have been too close to the ball there.
So, Cucci. Oh, Winkle falls to the ground, gives it to Ealing. Ealing takes up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Ealing. Ealing's second shot goes on through. 37 seconds left to go. McBain trailing by 1. Of course, Beal City going to slow things down. It'll be Small. Small at half court. There will be a foul, obviously. So with 28 seconds left to go. Now Avery Small going to pass it out. McBain probably going to try to get that foul. Or the steal. It'll be Gross. Ealing going to foul.
Crowd did not like that call.
Once again, Small to pass it out. 26 seconds to go. Small going to call the timeout for his team. So we'll see you after the break.
Fresh homemade pizza, made just for you at a cheap price. If that sounds like a good deal, then Kelly's is the place for you. Next time you're feeling hungry, remember Kelly's. L&J Meat Market. Our meat speaks for itself.
Back to the fourth quarter. 1 point separating these teams. It'll be Beal City with the ball in the lead. Avery Small to pass it out. Brennan Cucci, aggressive. Trying to get that steal. Small gets it over to Gross. Gross against Ealing. Gross gonna get the foul. So 23 seconds left to go. And once again, Avery Small to pass this one out. Small gets it to Elias. Elias, there will be another foul. Oh, that's gonna be a double dribble on the Aggies. McBain gonna get the ball with 20 seconds left to go. It'll be a timeout. So,
and the game just got more intense.
McBain with the ball, trailing by 1. We'll see you after the break.
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
McBain Hardware has been serving the McBain community for over 60 years. They have an expansive collection of Milwaukee tools and products. As my brother likes to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. Come down to see Tyler, Ron, or Trevor at McBain Hardware on 118th North Roland Street, McBain, Michigan, for all your everyday hardware needs.
Back to it now. McBain trailing by 1. It'll be Skierbeck to pass it out. 20.1 seconds on the clock. Looking for that score, but also potentially drain some of that clock to ice this game. It'll be Winkle. Gives it over to Thomas. Thomas back to Winkle. 10 seconds to go. It'll be a timeout. So 10.1 seconds to go now. We'll see you after the break.
You know about McLain's excellence in auto repair and transmission work. Now he takes that same work ethic in selling mid-value SUVs and rest-free Southern trucks at an affordable price. These vehicles all have an exact description on his website at www.mclainsautosales.com, or you can just call today at 231-779-1394.
Set to resume play. Obviously, I've said this many times. Beal City leading by 1. 10.1 seconds left to go on the clock. McBain with the ball. So far tonight, even scoring. So a group effort from all these McBain players. Most points tonight is from Max Ealing, as it'll be Cucci. Cucci, 6 seconds to go. Cucci got to get it out. Cucci gives it to Thomas. Thomas got to shoot it. Thomas guns it up. No good. So that'll do it. Your score, 49-50. Beal City Aggies pull out the JV game in a thriller. And we will see you as we are set for the varsity game. We'll see you then. Shout out to my crew.